Hello, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to keep it very interactive. I have about 20 minutes of time. 20 minutes? Costa? 20 minutes? Okay. So I have 20 minutes of time, and let's get going. So, first and foremost, I think the brand name talks about a product category that whole of India knows. So just to give you a perspective on chai, I mean, we see it everywhere. On a daily basis, the target segment that Chai Point as a brand addresses, which means from an income demographic standpoint, going from upper end blue collar to white collar and beyond. Let's include all blue collars, also organized blue collars. There's about 350 million cups of chai consumed per day. That's the size of the market, which is addressable, right? This is the consumption that happens outside of homes, right? In organized places. It doesn't include shanties, thelas, panwalas, and all of that. This is organized retail, where close to about 12 lakh organized retailers sell this much of volume, apart from, of course, the consumption that is happening in offices, transport hubs, infrastructure hubs. So the opportunity is very large, right? I'm going to, because this is a founder, more of a B2B kind of a session, I'm going to keep it real. I'll give some 5-10 minutes of time for questions. So this is the opportunity which excited us close to about 10 years ago, and we started our journey. I come from a technology background. So the starting point in dealing a tangible product category like chai was to build up retail stores. We closed about 170, 180 stores. And we started that journey by building stores, first very simple, then increasingly more and more experience oriented. But over a period of time, we realized that if we have to take a meaningful pie of this 350 million per day, 35 crore per day kind of a transaction category, then retail stores will take 100 of years before we accumulate a meaningful share. So just to give you a perspective, we did some back of the envelope math that even if Chai Point was to have 3,000 stores, and just to give you a perspective, Domino's is about 1,800, 1,900, and they've been around for 30 odd years in India. Even if we have close to about 3,000 stores, we would not have more than 0.4 to 0.45% of the market share. So obviously, if we have to go into this category, our approach needs to be different. So since then, which is about 4 or 5 years ago, we realized that we need to go where the consumer is. And we need to have an omni-channel play. And frankly, we started talking about it and implementing it way before the word became fashionable, the online to offline, offline to, O2O, there are different jargons that came along. And we said that wherever there are close to about 100 plus people, we will deploy our brewing systems. And of course, we'll build the brand by not doing marketing in the classic way, in the ATL kind of a sense, but below the line in a revenue-centric model where we'll build stores so that customers, first and foremost, get a sense of confidence by engaging with the product category. And then they appreciate that the product category has a demand at their place of congregation. It could be an office, it could be an institution, hospital, multiple other places where just about at that time we thought 100 plus people would be good. So since then we've been at it. And of course, COVID came along, and COVID was a big, big knock. Our revenue crashed to 5%. So we were close to about 200 crores, annually in 2020. Revenue crashed, we were EBITDA positive, and then we built the company again, but we used the time to really further sharpen this omni-channel strategy. So we did two big things. Pre-COVID, a lot of our brewing system dispensers, and we are close to about 6,000-7,000 right now. We're in about 21 cities with our brewing dispensers in about 3,100 odd different institutions. Our manufacturing was happening in China. We realized that for various reasons, having a manufacturing base in India was also equally important. So we started working on creating a network of partners. We didn't want to get into manufacturing ourselves, but sort of invest in the technology, invest in the design, and build a manufacturing base with partners out here. in India. And since then now we have a significant number which is manufactured out of India, though frankly China also continues to be an important manufacturing hub. But fundamentally, we created capacity closer to home. Then we also expanded our range. We said that instead of 100 congregation point, can we install our systems at congregation points of 50 and yet make the business model viable, right? Because ultimately it's all about placing a brewing system. It's a printer cartridge model. You place the brewing system. Chai Point as a brand is established outside. The brewing system should consume Chai Point consumables. We should be charging only a monthly maintenance kind of a fee to the installation point, and then we recover our payback cost through the margins that we gain on the consumables that go inside. So we realized that actually it is feasible. So even with a 50 aggregation point, which is consuming about, let's say 90 to 100 cups of chai a day, we could build a viable installation strategy. So what we are up to right now, you know, and sort of I'm giving you a brief background, and if you want to think of Chai Point right now, of course you will see our stores, and we are opening more and more stores. Most of our stores increasingly will be experience-centric. Our first store, when we started, is on Trinity Store, so you can, on Trinity Circle, I mean the MG Road, so it's a relatively smaller store, but it's the oldest. But most of our new stores are now increasingly getting experiential. And we are upward on that journey because that's the branding point. But our key goal is to deploy more and more brewing systems through channel partners all across the country. We have expanded our range. We have 4 brewing systems. We have expanded the verticals in which we want to install our brewing systems. And what has also happened along the way is that we realized through our own internal data that filter coffee is very powerful in India. It's possibly more powerful than cappuccino in terms of consumption. So we integrated filter coffee brewing with our chai brewing. So over a period of time, arguably, we are the largest seller in terms of volume of both chai and filter coffee. Then we also said, let's embrace the Western coffee range, the cappuccino and so on and so forth. It has an appeal. It's definitely trendy. But frankly, the volume just is hugely concentrated towards chai and filter coffee, irrespective of the age or income demographic. Right? So we are now in a mode where we are expanding our stores from an experience and brand perspective, but we are aggressively onboarding channel partners to really take our brewing system. Channel partners, or classic name is distributors, but channel partners more because this is not just a tangible packaged FMCG category. It's a cartridge which goes into a brewing system. So the value addition from the channel partner is slightly higher than just the classic FMCG distributor. And they get returns also. So the channel partner or the distributor, their ROI when they become a channel partner with us is significantly higher vis-a-vis a classic FMCG partner because of the value addition that they're providing to the end customer. So our model right now really is to just go across the country, onboard these channel partners and make sure that they are able to do justice to their territory, and we are able to do justice to the 350 million cups and increasing opportunity on a per day basis. That's sort of our story. I've taken about 10-15 minutes. I've given you a quick snapshot. I'm very happy to take questions. I know there are a group of founders, and sustainability, which is sort of the key theme in this sort of series of sessions today, is important for us. I've witnessed it firsthand, literally building a very tangible company during COVID after having it seen come down to about 5% was nerve-wracking. Thankfully, we've been supported by some very able professional leaders at a senior level. Otherwise, would have been very difficult. We had close to about 1,800 people at that point of time. And again, the spread was close to about 15, 16 cities. And now, of course, as I said, count has increased. So a lot of lessons along the way on sustainability, and that continues to be the most important theme. We've improved on our gross margins and so on and so forth. I'll take a pause, quick questions. If any, otherwise I'll just end with a theme or two. Please, sir. Sir, can you take the mic, please?
Actually, it's quite interesting. I'm a founder of a healthcare startup. My name is Sridhar. Company name is UBCare Health. One of the questions which I keep getting whenever we pitch and your thing is a great success story, and chai is something anybody can copy. What prevents anybody from copying you and going in? And it becomes a big challenge because without capital, you can't reach there. And if you are innovating something, early adopters are always less. So this constantly keeps in front of it and becomes a big challenge. So we are always, so I'm also an engineer, so I always keep thinking of innovative ideas, how you to bring it. But a lot of times that may not be the real way of actually getting the business up. So I'm not sure, how did you do that?
No, absolutely. And see, I mean, so what people don't realize is that a thing which is so common like chai, I'll give you our specific example. I'm sure there are analogies that you can draw from your own sector. I can ask anybody here that how many places that do you know of where you really know you can trust the quality of chai and coffee? Forget about coffee, only chai. Let's say. There are very few. Chai is supposedly everywhere, but quality chai is nowhere. Right? I mean, this is a great hotel, but frankly, what all 5-star hotels, they struggle with quality chai. I mean, they'll give you great coffee, they will charge you a huge bill, but they will not be able to deliver you quality chai. So this, it's sort of, it's like seawater. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. I mean, thodi extreme analogy, but it's somewhat true. That quality and consistency was a big, huge gap, right? So we started with the premise that so long as we focus on quality and consistency in this beverage, which is a very high repeat. So the plus of this category is that it's a very large market with a very high repeat. So you don't have to create a market. We don't have to say, oh, this is a fancy new thing called chai. Like a probiotic beverage range where you really have to convince कि यार इसमें कुछ probiotic है, ये fortified vitamins हैं, so therefore you have to pay a certain. That's like there is a market, but you have to spend money to talk that language. In chai, people filter if you don't deliver quality and consistency. Now, is quality and consistency a slam dunk challenge? No. It turns out it's very, very tough. We've realized over a period of time, frankly, we've been relevant in spite of COVID just boom, killing all our channels temporarily. We realized that people just don't know how to attack quality and consistency. And even we have a lot of scope to, it's per cup brewing. It is introduced during COVID. It has robotic arms inside. That's a prototype model. The new one is getting rolled out as we speak. The production has hit Bangalore and Mumbai and other cities. We're realizing that the journey to quality and consistency has so much of innovation. The moment we do it, we leave competition even further behind. So what seems at a high level that ye to commodity hai, nobody can match it, nobody can crack it, just by chance. In the morning I got up and I mean my wife hates it because switch on some YouTube video as if everybody consumes content at so much rate. I came across this beautiful small video about this pencil company called DOMS. It's a 4,000 category. Pencils. And this DOMS has become 1,000 crore. That's about more than 25%, 40% almost. Market share owner of that. Pencils. What did they do? Product innovation. Instead of having a circular pencil, they realized that children can't hold the pencil properly. They made it triangular. Instead of circle with edges like a hexagon, they made it like a triangular grip. They said instead of having graphite and wood, we will add polymer to the graphite so the color is better. And then of course they did other things, but they started with the product, right? Now, everybody thinks कि pencil की shape तो pencil है, round होनी चाहिए, hexagon होनी चाहिए. But somebody did a study and said, no, ये तो grip पकड़ना मुश्किल होता है. So let's have a triangular base to hold it. Right? So, and the same thing really happened for us. Now, all across Chai Point stores, the brewing of chai happens only on cloud-connected systems. Only on cloud-connected systems. So there's a patent for that machine. The recipes are not defined by the store partner, but by us. Right? So tea leaves drop, milk drops, water drops. If it's a masala chai, there are 9-time boils. There is a ultrasonic sensor which automatically adjusts the heating of induction pad so that the milk doesn't spill over. आपने देखा है घर में चाय बनाने के लिए हमेशा line of sight control चाहिए. Oh, उबल गया है, control करो. If you go to a darshani, there are two guys who are always looking at chai and coffee. Why? Because they have to boil it and they have to control the temperature. So we've automated all of this. Right? So in a simple thing, I gave you the pencil example. So it's a myth. The larger the category, to give up कि ये बहुत बड़ी category है, इसमें कोई chance ही नहीं है, and कोई नई चीज बनाते हैं. So I'm not saying that's not the right approach, but there is a dilemma. You create a new category, you have to educate the customers. You make a competitive edge in an existing large category, you already have the customer, possibly you can grow faster. You can mess up too, but it's not so simple.
Hi.
5 minutes more, then I think my time is up.
Sir, I have a small question. Here I am.
Yeah, sorry, I can't see you, but I can.
I'm on your right, on your right.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. Chai Point is a very well established brand now. Are you going to stop there, or you have any plans for diversification into, let's say, cookies, for example? If you take example of Britannia, although very well established for so many years, they still are expanding and trying to get into new areas. So you have any plan from Chai Point to cookies, etc., packaged snacks, etc. kind of?
Yeah, so see, what we realized is we will win if we give the customer a great chai experience. If we just focus on chai as a product, there's a huge opportunity, but we'll be smarter if we say best chai experience. Now the expectation of the chai experience are different at different places. When I'm at home and I'm having chai, my chai experience will say, nahi yaar, chai nahi, saath mein pakode bhi hona chahiye, vada bhi hona chahiye, paratha bhi hona chahiye, da 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 da. When you are in an airport, on a plane, then you're saying, badhiya chai with low sugar, authentic. Koi drama nahi chahiye. Achhi chai. So every occasion, there is a experience definition. So experience is not universal. So we've sort of embraced that reality. We are saying that best experience, try to go after best experience at every place. And therefore, if it warrants us doing something to enhance the experience, we will do it. But we want to we do about 6-7 lakh cups of chai a day. Market opportunity is 35 crores. Right, we are 0.6 to 0.7 million. Market opportunity is 350 million. I mean, so we better not take our eyes off the radar, right, of the compass on the base product, and instead sort of start looking at diversification and all that. But experience will involve us working with partners. So channel partners who are taking up brewing systems, and young, even established FMCG companies who are creating made-for-chai products that can enhance the product is a big opportunity. Last question, then I will end, please. Yeah, please.
Hi, Amuleek. I am Preeti Sharma. I am working with JLL, look after the real estate. Have helped Chai Point in the retail expansion. Wanted to understand any plans on international expansion?
See, so as I said, we're not even 0.2% in India, right? And India is the market that we want to singularly focus on. That said, we are getting a lot of requests, right? Kuch karein, franchisee वगैरह करें. We are also technically ready, being candid, right? In the sense that previously, let's say F&B brands, Indian diaspora internationally is very strong. There's a huge market. Indian food is getting picked up, right? There are public listed companies in India, food companies whose core business is to sell frozen foods, frozen samosas to the rest of the markets. But for a play like ours, previously hota tha yaar brand ko le aao and Chai Point hai and log aayenge. But how do you give quality and product assurance? But now with these cloud connected systems, we can literally place our systems in Vancouver, West Coast, whatever, San Jose, all those places where a lot of Indian diaspora is there, and say that, boss, we're sitting here in Bangalore. These are all AWS, Google profiles. We will know exactly chai kaise nikal ke aa rahi hai. We are at that stage, which means that we can give systems and not just brand, so that the customer there gets a consistent experience. And of course, the supply chain and all of that. So we are ready. And, but if you candidly ask me, is that a searing priority? No. We're only 170 stores here. Brand banane ke liye, we need to open a lot more stores here, right? And brewing systems, again, you know, that's the scale vector for us. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.